There are 4 commands we can use with Arag tool. The new command followed by the project name will create a template project for you. Then we have the -p for packaging. This will create a single output HTML file, which you then will be able to upload to Anspar and mint an NFT with it. This Arag-S will open the compiled version of your project in your default browser, and you can rebuild it as you go, so you can develop interactively. And we have this E for entry, which will be used for specifying the entry point for your project. By default, this is the index.html file in your templates directory. You can specify where your index.html file is. And then we also have these helper functions, which are used as part of the tool, and we will see how we can use those to accomplish different things. So first, let's create a new project and we will use the command arag new. And now we'll just have to give our project name. I'm just gonna call it Anspar project. And we can open this in our favorite editor. I'm using code, so I'm just going to open it in there. So now in our templates, we can templates directory, we can find the index.html file, and this is our default entry file. And in our static folder, we can find the CSS folder, JavaScript folder, and a logo file. We can put anything that we need to use in our project in the static folder and link it to the HTML file using these helper functions. The idea is to not have any external links in the HTML file, because as those files are going to become NFTs, we want them to be working 100 years from now without any need to access anything externally, like servers which might be not available. So let's see what does the import CSS file do. So what it does is it locates the index.css file here and imports the contents of this file into the tag styles. It replaces this line with that. It creates a style file and puts the CSS into it. Same here, it creates a script tag, puts the JavaScript into it. And import image helper, it creates a base64 URL from a image file and assigns it to this source tag. And we can see actually what it looks like if we type arag-p for packaging. We can see that this file was generated. We can see it here. And now if you open it, we can see that image now has this base64 URL, which is inlined in the HTML. We can see that JavaScript was imported, and also up here we can see that we have our CSS imported as well. Now there are many other helper functions that we can use. You can find the list here, and we have this import row, which is will allow you to import anything, any text content of any file, anywhere you want in the HTML file. We have the import JSON, which you can assign to any variable or constant if you need to. You can import other HTML files. This will be just, again, raw HTML text will be imported where you want. And we have import JS and CSS from web. We can actually look how that will look like. So we can, for instance, import the jQuery, say after or before this JS. Local JS import, and let's package this again and see what that looks like. So again, if you scroll all the way down, now we can see that the jQuery was also inlined in this HTML and it was included in this script tag. And if you want to see what our project looks like, we can use the -s, and that will open it in our default browser, and we can see what it looks like. And if you want to make any changes, For instance, we can come here and say maybe change the background to green, for instance, save it. We can then rebuild, and if you go here and refresh, we can see that the changes took effect. So in the next tutorial, we'll see how we can use WebAssembly with our project using import wasm helper.